Hello everybody, it's Mystic, and welcome back to my library. This is episode 2 of Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker, and in the last episode we just kind of went through the first couple of quests, got to explore Sharlayan a little bit, and now I am going to be talking to Thancred and Kryl and seeing what they have in store for me. The quests are split now into 2, so let's see what we've got. I'll start with Thancred, and then we'll move on to Kryl. I have Kryl's instructions in hand. If you are ready to set out, then so are we. Having been to Thavnair before, I can travel by Aetheryte, but what of the rest of you? Another sea voyage would waste time we do not have. Kryl was of the same mind and has already secured the aid of the good folk of the Confluence. We'll take ourselves there. The Confluence, thou sayest. What's the matter? I'm afraid so, my friend. Yeah, what's up? Thou wilt recall the hunt for Iceheart, unto whose sanctuary we delivered thee owing to the knowledge of our comrade Monbrita. Yeah? Monbrita was an authority of aetherology, a field of study she did embark upon in pursuit of her parents' example. Both are authorities in their own right, and both are researchers at the Confluence. Oh no, Oriange. My microphone is just not cooperating right now, one sec. I can understand now. Haven't you gone to see them yet? Wait, dude, it's been like 6 years. I attempted to do so earlier, but to my shame, my courage failed me at the last. As it hath the many times I thought to reach out to them after sending that fateful letter. Neither time nor introspection have revealed unto me the words I should speak, and thus I have kept my silence. Whether you come with us or no, it's your choice and yours alone. If it is too difficult, we'll manage. Thou art kind to say so, but I have no intention of forsaking our cause. I shall go to the Confluence, and I shall face that which hath been long overdue. If it's settled, then let us be off. When we arrive, we should look for a researcher named Kit. Alright. I love the quest accepted music. It's so good. Also, while I was gone, I went AFK for a minute to get a cup of coffee between this episode and the last. So, I'm gonna take a sip. Definitely need that. Okay. Hitting the books. Oh, and I think I got a new armor item. An unsettling change has come over Sharlayan, but together we will divine the underlying cause for the Forum's callousness. As I mentioned before, however, questioning the counselors directly is a fruitless endeavor. They seem to have already come to a consensus as to what, and how little, they are willing to divulge. Which is why I began scouring Sharlayan's archives of historical records for any hint of connection to the final days. Suffice it to say that progress has been slow. There are only so many dusty pages one can skim in a day. But now that I've got this band of willing reinforcements, the search should progress all the swifter. Let us reconvene outside Numenon, shall we? Exit the annex to the right, and you'll find the archives on the western edge of the woods. Okay, now since this part is staying in Sharlayan, I think I'm gonna do this part of the quest first. And then I'll move over to Thavnair, whatever it's called. Okay, I still have better items. Yeah, I ended up going through and buying stuff, not thinking that... I mean, I don't know why I didn't think this, but I was going to be getting stuff anyway, so I guess I'll just sell it. I might just take a quick minute to do that and then continue on. Okay, so I sold off some stuff, and now I'm here. The next place I have to go is over here. I don't have this Aetheryte unlocked yet, so I am going to just run there. And I will meet you there once I get that Aetheryte and I am over to the quest. Alright, so that got me all of the Aetherites here. So let's head over to Kryl. My directions were easy enough to follow, I hope. In any case, you stand now before the doors of the Numenon, Sharlayan's grandest collection of books and tomes. Oh my god, let me in. This building is actually only an entrance, and one of many at that, for the archives of Numenon extend deep beneath the surface, like the roots of a tree. Oh my god. The vast halls of the great Google Library pale in comparison to Numenon's endless maze of subterranean chambers. Any citizen of Sharlayan is free to enter and peruse its shelves. Well, most of its shelves. Only archons are afforded the access to certain restricted vaults. I've dispatched Yestola and Raha to investigate those. Meanwhile, Alize and Alphina will help me continue my search through the stacks open to the general public. Your status presents more of a problem. As a non-citizen, you are only permitted to browse the first floor here at the entrance. No! Even so, there should be a number of books which touch upon Sharlayan history or foreign policy. Your task Your task will be to study the relevant publications. I promise you, a working knowledge of those subjects will make it far easier to spot the sort of clues we're looking for. Let's be about it, shall we? I've told the others to meet us at the stone benches over there once they've found the promising tomes. Happy reading. Oh my god, thank you. I will read happily. Oh my god, I can't wait. There's more! Oh my god. There's floors and floors of bookshelves. Y'all, I want to live here. Can this be a place in real life, please? I need to go here. I need to go to here. Help. Oh my god. Wait. There's even more over here. Are you kidding? How do you get up there? Like, look at that. How does one acquire those books? Okay, I've got to stop. I've got to stop. I've got to start reading. But oh my god, this is amazing. I knew I was going to love this place. The title on the spine reads The Story of Sharlayan. Yes. Long ago, on an island in the Northern Sea, there lived a Rogadin man named Nguyen-Krep. Nguyen-Krep was a student of astrology, and he divined that a flood of terrifying proportions would soon sweep over the lands of Eorzea. So it was that he built a gigantic ship, assembled a crew, and set sail for that imperiled realm. The flood arrived as foretold, and to their horror, the strangely churning waters drove the people towards the ocean. It was there, however, that Nguyen-Krep's crew hauled them aboard his ark. But the danger had not passed. A towering wave approached, threatening to smash the vessel to pieces. With only moments to spare, Nguyen-Krep wove a mighty spell of teleportation and shifted the entire ship to a safety atop Labyrinthos' spine. Refugees from the surrounding regions huddled there alongside them, but it was not long before disputes over the dwindling supplies of food led to violence and bloodshed. Saddened by the sight, Nguyen-Krep gathered to him his crew and his grateful passengers and abandoned the ark to those reddened peaks. They journeyed to the coast where they built a new ship, intent upon returning to the northern seas. They landed on the beach of an island and settled upon that very spot. That settlement prospered and grew, and in time it became the city of Sharlayan we lived in to this day. Okay. So I guess, as much as I would like to read all of these, there's a lot. I'm only going to read the ones that sound like they're going to be important to Sharlayan. The Roads of Old, the colony. I'm going to skip that one for now, just in case. Because I don't want to be reading as much as I would like to. I can't have this video be, 120 minutes of me reading. During the chaos of the 6th Umbral Calamity, Archon Nguyen-Krep, founder of the Sharlayan, bore witness to the madness and savagery of men through the brink of despair. Upon raising a settlement on an island in the northern empty, he instructed his people thus: renounce the ways of war and pursue enlightenment through knowledge and reason. This does sound like it's gonna apply. The Sharlayans took to heart the words of their savior and thenceforth served as stewards of wisdom. Upon a foundation of accumulated learning, they built a homeland unlike any other, a nation born from strength of minds rather than strength of arms. With knowledge of economics came shrewd trading. With knowledge of agriculture came bountiful crops. Engineering brought wells and sewers, ending squabbles over water. Wealth of expertise can be bartered for wealth and coin, and the more the wisdom spread throughout the world, the more mankind as a whole would thrive. And so it was that no matter the trials and tribulations of the age, the citizens of Sharlayan would live by their founders' teachings. For the sake of a better tomorrow, for the sake of a brighter star, they would eschew the tools of war, and with knowledge deliver the world. Okay. I mean, it was a noble goal. It just sounds like perhaps maybe they shouldn't be sticking to it right now because of everything happening. Okay, so clearly I missed one. So we had the time-worn one, we had the brightly colored one, and now I just have to figure out the next one. Roads of Old, the colony. Many years ago, on the banks of the Thaliak in the Dravanian hinterlands, a Sharlayan colony once thrived. The settlement was originally established as a mere outpost to the study of the ethereal sea in the year 1311 of the 6th Astral Era. Scholars dispatched to Eorzea found the facilities wanting, and their demands encouraged a gradual expansion in structures and services. As rumors spread of a growing community of academics, the area was further inundated with Eorzean students, hoping to share in the renowned wisdom of the Sharlayans. 50 years later, the Forum passed a motion to recognize what had become a flourishing town as an official Sharlayan colony. Eorzean residents took to calling the colony itself Sharlayan, which led to no small amount of confusion when discussions turned to the subject of the motherland. In response, some Sharlayan inhabitants, if pressed for a name, would simply refer to it as Emporium. Following the Great Exodus, however, goblins and treasure hunters claimed for themselves a corner of the abandoned colony and gave it yet another name, Idleshire. Oh! Going to introduce the most prominent features of Idleshire. The book does not appear to contain information. Okay, but that was an interesting little factoid about Idleshire. Maybe I do want to read all of these. In the years which followed the founding of Sharlayan, civic policy and other matters of import were decided at the Ecclesia, a public forum with which every citizen was eligible to speak. As the city's population grew, however, this format became increasingly impractical. The larger numbers of participants gave rise to ever longer debates, resulting in significant delays of vital resolutions. Various measures were introduced in an attempt to curtail protracted discussions, but in the year 201 of the 6th Astral Era, it was ultimately decreed that Sharlayan would transition to a new form of governments. The nation would now be led by a body of 99 members, citizens chosen from amongst their peers by means of a nationwide vote. Thus was the forum as we know it today conceived and created. You gained a fundamental understanding of Sharlayan history and the foundation of the forum. Oh, okay, so that was it. That was the one I needed. And now, like I said, as much as I would like to read the rest of these right now, I can't have that be the entirety of... You know what? No, I can't do it. I need to read them. However, I don't know if I'm going to put them in the video. Do I want to put them in the video? I'm not sure. I'm going to read them. I'm going to decide later. Have you ever gazed at the skies above the contemplated the mysteries contained therein? I speak not of shifting cloud patterns, but of the vastness beyond, of the sun and the twinkling tapestry of the night. Some think the dome above us to be a finite space, yet among the leading thinkers of our age, one scholar's depiction of boundless sea of stars has firmly taken root. Alas, this heavenly sea remains an unreachable, unknowable destination. There are few indeed who can explain, in satisfactory detail, why our own star is believed to revolve around the sun. It was technologists of Alog who came closest to understanding the laws which govern the starry abyss. It was they who launched Delamud, and sought to expand beyond our earthbound existence. Having read of their ancient ambitions, I wonder, has your interest in this field of study waxed or waned? What if I were to tell you that the eternal constellations were arranged differently in the distant past, that their positions continue to shift almost imperceptibly but measurably as we journey into the future? Would it shock you to learn that the stars drift further and further apart and may indeed do so forever? Are you eager to learn more? So some of these have like some snippets about other places, but all right, as much as I would like to read these, I think I am gonna skip it. Sorry, were you waiting long? Nope, I just got here. I wanted to make sure I borrowed at least a few promising volumes. Alphino and Kryl should be along shortly. I was delayed in a similar fashion. As far as I could see, no titles in the Archon stacks mention the final day specifically, so we have no choice but to start with this tangentially relevant tombs, as they are if they are even that. At present, the plan is to skim through as quickly as we dare and share our discoveries as we make them. It would have been nice to invite everyone to the estate, plenty of comfortable places to read, and a ready supply of hot tea. Oh, I was always quite fond of reading outside, but it's not about the little pleasure, is it? You miss your home. It's been difficult. After our arrival, we managed to speak with one of the family servants and ask how things were. It seems our dear father has instructed the staff that even if Alphino and I were to return to Sharlayan, we would not be allowed across the threshold. Jeez, what a jerk. A harsh measure indeed. I hope that our efforts to understand his position and that of the forum will perhaps lead to a reconciliation. We'll mend this rift one day, I'm certain of it. And what of you, Graha? Have you been to visit your family, or do they not live here in the city? Well, my situation is also somewhat complicated. I was raised in Sharlayan, yes, but I was born rather further away. In the southern reaches of Ilabard, in fact. Ilabard? Ilsabard? Ilsabard? For generations, my people have dwelt in Corvos, the coastal region opposite the Isle of Thavner. I don't know why I keep messing that up. The Allegans founded a city in the fertile land and by ship brought in the subjugated tribes of the Mikote to serve as laborers. Of course, the massive earthquakes of the Fourth Umbral Calamity brought an end to the Empire's reign, and when the Fifth Calamity froze the sea solid, many of my tribes still living in Corvos braved the journey back to Eorzea. My ancestors, however, chose to remain, that they might prevent the remnants of Allegan technology from being misused. Isn't Corvos under Garlean rule? For the past 50 years, yes. Some semblance of local culture remains, as is the case for the most imperial provinces, but Garlemald renamed the region Locus Mons. Also, Final Fantasy IV music, I can hear it in the background. It is beautiful. When I was a boy, a nearby town. Wait, is that 4? Or is that 3? No, that's 4. When I was a boy, a nearby town came under the jurisdiction of an illustrious imperial family, the nobles of House Darnus. Wait a minute. Darnus? We know that name. House Darnus demonstrated a singular interest in Allagan civilization, and so my tribe was forced to consider a plan of action. I believe Von Darnus was somebody mentioned in the Binding Coils of Bahamut. For some time already, voices have been raised in favor of abandoning our ancient customs. After all, the Allagan Eye no longer passed to our eldest children as reliably as it once had. Fear of discovery eventually tipped the scales, and the decision was made to bury our ties to the knowledge and traditions of Allag. As the last child born with the Allagan Eye, I was given over to the custody of friends and the students of Baldesion, who had me register as a Sharlayan citizen. I never even considered. Forgive me, it was an unkind question. Even Thancred was taken in by the Archon Louisoix, was he not? Stories of adopted waifs and rescued orphans are more common among Sharlayans than you might think. Yet regardless of our origins, we are all provided with an equal opportunity to learn, and with sufficient perspicacity? Why have I never heard that word before? We outsiders can even learn the vaunted title of Archon. 'Tis exactly why I have such a love for this country, and why I wish it to remain a nation of which its citizens can be proud. Hear, hear. Another good reason to get to the bottom of the foreign stubbornness, aside from the trifling matter of our impending doom. Excuse us while we try to make some headway into these books, Celeste. More company should be arriving any moment now. We've returned with our selections. Although I must say the pickings were quite slim indeed, Mistress Kyle has already flicked through every history book devoted to disasters, and more within a few which barely made mention of them. As such, we will be looking into research papers on the Umbral calamities, as well as articles written by prominent forum members. Perhaps their knowledge of the final days comes from an unexpected source. Speaking of which, might I ask you a few questions related to the final days? I'm the only one here who didn't witness the events of Amarat firsthand, and I fear I may be overlooking critical details. Yeah, I guess I am an expert in that. My thanks. Now where to begin? First things first, what kind of phenomena did the ancients encounter as the final days drew nigh? A complete destabilization of creation magics, primals of unrivaled power were summoned. The worst kind of phenomena you can imagine. I mean, aren't these both true? So I could say either one. I do know, they are both true. Yes, the unfolding catastrophe wrought havoc on all manner of life. The chaos extended to the ancients themselves, causing their powers of creation to spiral out of control. Fear and despair manifested in terrible, tangible fashion. Meteors raining, oh my god, from the sky, fire erupting from the ground, indescribable abominations prowling the streets. That more or less aligns with my understanding. If only the arts of creation had survived until the present day, we might have had something substantial to analyze. To the best of our knowledge, however, those techniques were not preserved or passed on. Yashtola surmises that the closest known magic is that of the summoning rituals promulgated by the Ascians. Was there aught else of note which heralded the approach of the final days? The entire star was engulfed by disaster all at once. They say it began with a keening sound from the land itself. Alphino, you can answer this one. Again, either of these is true. Let's go with that one. Oh, never mind. I'm wrong. I just did this not too long ago. I have a terrible memory. I think you may be misremembering. As I recall, 'twas more of a gradual spread. The Amaratines spoke of a keening sound that rose from the land itself just before a region was visited by catastrophe. We never did hear this sound ourselves, of course, thrust as we were into the midst of the madness. So the ground was crying out, you say. To be considered the harbinger of doom, it must have been quite distinctive, and probably quite loud. I'll have to speak with one of Numenon's Momets and ask after any book which makes mention of such a sound. Last but not least, would you describe how the ancients sought to quell this unprecedented calamity? What definitive action did they take? They summoned Zodiark, they summoned Hydaelyn, they knocked Dalamud from the sky. They did that one. Yay! At least I didn't get that one wrong. Yes, with Elidibus serving as his heart, so many gave themselves in sacrifice to bring him into being. We do not know exactly how Zodiark brought salvation to the star, only by his godlike will were the laws of nature set right. Oh my gosh. Then once the balance was redressed, the ancients offered up a further sacrifice to heal the ravages of the final days. Lives sprouted anew, and it was these fledgling souls they intended to render onto Zodiark, a trade that would have allowed them to resurrect the shades of loved ones absorbed by the primal. Or might have, had Vana and her fellows not manifested their opposition in form of Hydaelyn. Thank you, both of you, for the detailed review. I feel much more confident now in my understanding of events. With all that freshly in mind, it does make me wonder what the Telophoroi truly meant when they speak of bringing back the final days. We've seen what they're doing with those towers of theirs. It's forcing people to summon primals as a kind of catalyst. Are they attempting a mirror of the conditions caused by unstable creation magics? Or are they simply using the final days as a figure of speech, a convenient metaphor for the scale of destruction they plan to unleash? This is all just pointless conjecture at this stage. Let us return to our attention to the forum, shall we? We should keep an eye out for Y'shtola, but 'tis time we began studying these research papers. Okay. Wait at the designated area once more. I will take a sip of coffee while I wait. And there she is. I am the last, am I? Well, my extended research of Archon stacks produced one or two possibly useful books. But I wouldn't get your hopes up. If you recall, Oriange learned of the source's reflection from the Giron oracles. For its potential to cause panic and confusion, that tome was deemed apocrypha and sealed away in the Great Google Library. 'Tis even less likely that knowledge of the unsundered world, not to mention the horrors of the final days, would be left sitting on a shelf for any curious scholar to find. It stands to reason, then, that my colleagues, be they archons or counselors, should perforce be largely ignorant of the subject. Yet when they confronted Master Fauchenal with knowledge of the Telophoroi and their machinations, he scoffed at the suggestion that they posed a threat. He seemed adamant that the Forum would know if the final days were truly upon us, which only supports the conclusion that whatever privilege wisdom is guiding the Forum's behavior, it is being kept secret from the rest of the nation. Not that I mean to excuse myself from reading duty. Whether they contain mention of the final days or no, these books could yet hold something of value. You weren't thinking of leaving, were you? There's plenty of work for everyone. I guess we're reading. Sounds good to me. You labor for what feels like an age as Y'shtola's research assistant. Oh dear, you look exhausted, but what about your studies? Were you able to find anything on the subjects I mentioned? Then the day was well spent. Should you wish to read them again, a Mohammed at the reference desk will point you in the right direction. Oh, so I can go back and reread those. For the moment, though, I suggest you take a well-reserved rest. We might be occupied with our research for quite some time. Okay. So I guess I'm done with this side. I guess I can go and do... Nope, never mind. I lied. Alise appears desperate in need for a study break. Ready for a tea break, Celeste? I know I am. Honestly, my neck and shoulders are going to calcify if I don't stretch my legs and walk around for a bit. You know the last stand down the harbor, don't you? Come and meet me near the outside tables, and I'll treat you to the coffee. It's quite good. Oh, good. I love coffee. Sounds like a plan. Honestly, this whole quest is perfect for me. It involves reading and coffee. It's perfect. Let me just open up what I just got, which I think I probably already have those too. Oh no, actually, I've got the 530 eye level stuff, so we're good. As busy as ever I see. How very Sharlayan that no other gourmet cafe has sprung up to compete for customers. Actually, this crowd gives me an idea. Before we place an order, why don't we ask a few questions and gauge the mood of the city? I'm interested to hear what the average citizen has to say about the Telophoroi. We might even learn something new. Worth a try, don't you think? Alize is now accompanying you. Keep her at your side. Okay. I really like this new accompanying thing. What is it? Can a man not enjoy a moment of private respite? If you're looking to share a table, then I respectfully request that you look elsewhere. You misunderstand us, sir. We're simply wondering if you knew of the Telophoroi. These enemies of peace have promised an end to the world, to all we hold dear, and... Wait, you're that House Levyur girl, aren't you? And this woman with you is obviously a foreigner. I'd heard you were disowned for helping outsiders indulge in their barbaric whims, and here you are, giving truth to the rumor. I think you better leave me be. I'm not to say to the likes of you. Well, I must apologize. 'Twas foolish of me to expect an ounce of civility from one so enlightened. Come, Celeste. Okay. Looks like there's one inside. I feel like this might be ill-advised, because everybody knows about her. Yes, I don't believe I've had the pleasure. Pray excuse the interruption, but we were hoping you might share your thoughts on the Telophoroi and their unconscionable plans. My goodness, if it isn't the young Miss Levyur. My apologies, but I work in one of the offices of the Forum, and word reached Master Fortunal that I was helping you. I see. We're sorry to have bothered you. Poor LSA. Welcome, madam. What can I offer you today? Uh-oh. Wait, is that Mistress Alisay I see? My word, how long has it been? Far too long. Meet Dickon, the owner of the Last Stand. I used to frequent his cafe on occasion in between lessons at the studium. He might be the only one to help us then. That seems like an age ago now. I remember hearing that you and Master Alphino had set sail for Eorzea, but then you never came back. Lately there's been gossip about your father disowning the pair of you. Everything all right at home? Nope. It's complicated, and I hadn't expected complete strangers to be so familiar with our situation quite so quickly. Everyone has an opinion, it seems. Well, it is Halcyon Levier. No matter how discreet Master Fulchino may have been, news of your family's doings never stay a secret for long. Things being what they are, what brings you back to the city now of all times? We have a question, and only Sharlayan has the answer. Tell me, Master Dickon, have you heard of anything about an apocalypse called the Final Days? What? The end of the world? Nothing like that, I'm afraid. And that's what you're here to find? Information on this apocalypse? Yes, whatever we can learn. Unfortunately, your patrons appear to be unwilling to speak to me. I wish there was more I can do to help. But maybe there is. You're a visitor to Sharlayan, aren't you? Then few will know your face. You should be able to pass off as a server with none the wiser. Am I going to become a waiter? We just finished preparing a few orders. Strike up some friendly conversation while you're settling down the food, and you might just get some answers you're looking for. I really hope I don't drop food on people. Not a bad idea. I hate to ask, but what do you think? Can I take your order? That's the spirit. Pay attention now, and I'll explain what each of these dishes need to go. Oh no. Oh no. The tea set is for the chatty group sitting by the water's edge. The omelet is for one of our regulars, a Highlander by the name of Gisla. She's sitting at an outside table with a friend of hers. Behind them, you should see a Mikote gentleman. He's ordered the oven-baked lobster. Got all that? If you're not sure, just ask and I'll explain again. Alright, so tea goes to the chatty people. Oh god. Okay, wait. Do I have to pick stuff up? No. I wish they gave me a cute little waiter outfit. That would have been adorable. Alright, so this looks like the water's edge. So I would assume this is the chatty group. Oh, my tea set. Lovely, thank you. The Talafa who? I'm sorry, I've never heard of them or their final days. My friends and I are somewhat uninformed when it comes to current events. Now, if you wanted to hear about ritual arcane practices of the 6th astral era, common or esoteric, then I'd be happy to talk your ear off. Okay, no thanks. Alright, so Gisla gets the omelet. Ah, finally. 2, 4, 6, 8. Let's dig in. No time to waste. What? What? The Talaferoy. Ah, yes. I remember seeing that name in the latest Gazette. That and some grand claim about the end of days. Same old senseless warmongering. When will these fools grow tired of spilling each other's blood? Best stay out of it, I say. The Forum made the right choice, and I fully support our decision to remain neutral. Okie dokie. You may have the lobster. At last, the oven-baked lobster is mine. You have no idea how long I've scrimped and saved and suffered to afford this heavenly dish. Oh no, and now I'm going to interrupt it. The final days, this is the first I've heard of it. Although that would explain why my friend has been rushed off his feet. It must be a busy time to be a gleaner. A gleaner? You don't know what a gleaner is? They're collectors of a sort. Travel the world procuring things that haven't gotten here in Sharlayan. Priceless books, unusual live specimens, and so forth. So named for those folk who trail after the reapers in the fields, picking up every grain which was missed. Aye, by all accounts, gleaning is a most meticulous and demanding profession. If these Talafere make good on their audacious threats, then maybe the uncatalogued rarities could be lost forever. Why else would any gleaners be buzzing about this in such a frenzy? Watch the harbor and you'll see what I mean. They're carting loads from the docks all day. It's never been this hectic before, not like this. Okay. Any trouble with the customers? Were you able to get anyone talking? Yeah, that last guy was pretty helpful, actually. Interesting. They seem unaware of the final days, aside from whatever vague news the gazettes are printing. Even Dickon has nothing to offer, and he's the best source of gossip in the city. If the Forum doesn't have secret knowledge, then they've done an impressive job of ensuring no one whispers it in the wrong ear. In any case, thanks for playing the part of so well. Here, that cup of coffee I promised. Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. But let's enjoy our drinks somewhere else, shall we? Maybe behind the peristyle, away from the gossips and their wagging tongues. So wait, this whole thing is part of the cafe? That's pretty cool. Oh, I found the hunt boards. Okay. Yeah, this should do nicely. Out of the wind and out of sight.
When our father disowned us, I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
That was a crappy move.
It wasn't until much later that his words began to sink in, that I began to feel the weight of what it meant.
I'm enjoying my cup of coffee with her, by the way.
Do you remember when the decision was made to come to Sharlayan? Grahas said that the Forum was determined to keep us in the dark, and that Father's venomous performance was part of that strategy, to keep us at arm's length. Perhaps it was. Father argued with Grandfather on many occasions, but never with such dismissive contempt.
See, that was something I was wondering if he was, like, doing it to protect them, but I don't know. Something seems off about him.
And when he demanded what justifies the sacrifices we make in war, I honestly didn't know what to say. Neither did Alpha know, I know, but never for one moment did I believe we had made the wrong choice. So all I could do was fume silently. It was only afterwards that I realized how childish I had been. How being stubborn and self-righteous must run in the family.
Yeah, but you had every right to argue with him.
If I could have just mustered a civil response,
No.
then things might have turned out differently.
Your father's a jerk. It's not your fault. Oh, are these those shipments that guy was talking about?
They must be ferrying goods to Labyrinthos.
To where now?
A vast complex beneath the island. Sharlayan is famous for archiving knowledge from around the world. Well, that knowledge is not preserved exclusively in dusty tomes and desiccated samples. Our living library, comprised of all manner of flora and fauna, is housed and studied within that underground facility. Still, that did seem to be an unusually large shipment. When I lived here, it was rare to even see such cargo transported by boat.
Well, this is kind of what that guy was saying.
Wait, didn't you hear something in the last stand about the gleaners coming and going more than usual? Well, I think they're the ones we saw manning those boats. And gleaners answer to the Forum.
Ah, we might be getting
If
somewhere.
the appearance of the Telophoroi prompted this sudden burst of activity, then Labyrinthos may hold a clue as to what the Forum is planning.
Yep, I think we have a clue, Alice, eh? I seem to be lagging a little bit. There we go. We should tell the others what we've learned about the Gleaners. Go on ahead to the Numenon and I'll join you in a moment. Master Dickon will want his cups back. Okay. Welcome back, Celeste. Been for a walk and cleared your head, have you? We also learned some stuff. Not exactly. We did some impromptu investigating and turned up information on the Gleaners. Yeah, so you see, they're finding all this stuff, and they're bringing it back. It makes sense. The Gleaners take their requests directly from the institutions and bureaucrats, but as you say, they ultimately answer to the Forum. A sudden and significant increase in the Gleaner traffic and in cargo, it certainly gives the impression of an overarching plan being put into motion. Let's see what theory we can build from the facts. As Justola observed earlier, Numenon's archives appear to contain no information concerning the final days. Coupled with what Celeste and Alice learned from the last stand, we can be reasonably sure that most Sharlayans know nothing of the particular period of ancient history. Yet my father and his colleagues are not only familiar with the final days, but are also somehow certain that the destruction being perpetrated by the Telophoroi is wholly unlike these apocalyptic events. Moreover, the Forum claims to be so occupied by a duty of such pressing importance that they saw fit to unanimously deny Eorzea's request for aid. And now the Gleaners, official ancients of the state, have been mobilized on an unprecedented scale. I do not think it a stretch to conclude that the Gleaners' recent activities are in service to the Forum's secretive ends. In which case, our next course of action seems obvious. We must visit Labyrinthos and assess the situation for ourselves. And if we're lucky, the Gleaners will be far more receptive to our questions. All right, what should we expect down there, actually? Oh, I would hate to spoil the surprise. Oh, is this going to be our first dungeon? It seems kind of early, but I'm not complaining. As for myself, there are a few more subjects I should like to research. I may join you later, but feel free to leave behind your borrowed books and be on your way. I'll see to it that each is returned to its proper place. That would be a great help. Thank you, Raha. Let's head down the stairs over there, and I'll show you where the entrance is. This sounds like it might be a dungeon. Ready? Labyrinthos is not far from here, but you may find the path a bit disorienting. I'll take the lead, so stay close. Okay. Off we go, then. Oh. I'm pretty sure I can keep up with you. I forget how to turn walking on. It's pleasant here amongst the trees. But really, we should move along. Okay, feel free to start running anytime now. No? Okay. I don't remember how to turn walking on. Now we run. Try to keep up. Oh, thank God. Okay, go. Oh, wait. Do I click on you? Nope. I don't click on you again. Keep to the path. Straight ahead. We cross this bridge. Are we in the residential district right now? No. Nowhere near. Up here. The rostra. Not far now. Oh. Hello. What are you, trying to lose me? So get this weird Lalafell away from me. She keeps following me. Help. Here we are, through this door and down the stairs. You did remember to attune the shard back there, didn't you? Yeah, no, I've got everything attuned here. It will make your life much easier if you need to come back in a hurry. Otherwise, we should keep moving. Yeah, I attuned everything. Here, you know what? I'm gonna grab this chocobo keep while I'm here. I have a feeling this is a dungeon. Everybody's gathered here. We're all here now, yes? I've taken the liberty of securing permission for our group's descent. Right, everyone, onto the lift and down we go. Or maybe not. Or it might be once we get down there. I'm not sure. Ooh.
Deep beneath the scholar's city shines a false sun within a fabricated sky.
Whoa, what? Oh my God.
In any age exist those who consider the floor an extension of their bookshelves. And this vault's architects surely belonged to that special breed.
This is so cool.
If the stack grows too high, start a new one. If no room remains, then make more rooms. A simple solution at first, and then bit by bit, a profound transformation.
This is so cool. Oh my God.
Knowledge, buried beneath knowledge, a growing, creeping labyrinth from which there is no escape.
You made that sound terrifying, Emmett Selk. This is pretty cool, if you ask me. And I guess it's not a dungeon, because it seems like a new area. This is so cool.
Not what you expected.
No.
I must admit, the artifice is very convincing.
It really is.
But I assure you that we are beneath Sharlayan itself. The breeze you feel, the flowing waters you hear, all created by the hand of man.
This is neat.
The island is volcanic, you see, and once upon a time this great hollow must have been a reservoir for magma.
Okay.
It was discovered some 400 years ago, at which point it was repurposed as a storage facility for scrolls and samples and such. Renovations have continued, with nigh on no interruption to this day, with the lower levels still undergoing expansion.
That's really cool.
Aren't those people gleaners?
Aye, judging by their dress. They are said to work alone as a rule, but 'twould seem that rule is being enthusiastically broken today. It may be as you suspected, that they are engaged in a task apart from the norm.
Let's spread out and get some answers then.
I think so. Yeah, so I don't think this is a dungeon. This is just another whole area. You okay, Kryle?
Ugh.
Kryle?
Did you call to me just now?
No.
No. How odd. I must be a bit dizzy from the descent.
Are you getting visions without
I'll be fine,
me?
I'm sure. Let's get to work, shall we?
Okay. This is so cool. It really is. It's very cool. All right. Let's ask around. You want to know what I'm doing? Hauling books and ore and fauna. If it needs hauling, I haul it. Every decade or so, they take stock in Labyrinthos. You know, sort and tidy up the inventory. Never seen an operation like this before, though. They just did one a summers ago, even. Then, with no warning at all, this mess got dropped in our laps. Orders from on high. Damned if I know the reason. Could be that they're changing the layout, eh? Preparing for the next big expansion. You exchanged with Dobbin has taught you about the taking stock. Okay, so interesting. So they're all doing this, but they don't seem to know why they're doing this. Intriguing. Oh, and I just realized I could ride here. Oh, wait, is this like a whole... Oh my god. This is a whole explorable area with fates? And aetherites? I was not expecting this at all. This is so cool. Wait, hold on. It's a lot bigger than I realized too then. Oh, wow. It really is. It's huge. This is so cool. All right, anyway, I gotta stop getting distracted. I gotta go talk to people. Let me think. The Rhea seeds should be from 1058. Cumin seeds, 1059. Snurbbleberry, 1060. Or were they 1061? Don't know. My head feels like it's stuffed with moko grass. Where are there more loads to carry out than in? Why do they do this all at once and risk mixing it up? What if someone mistakes the Kurthan carrots for the Girabanian carrots? What then? I really don't know. So there's large shipments, and they're having trouble keeping track of everything. You're here to help or give me more headaches, because you don't have the look of a gleaner, and I'm in no mood for idle chatter. One of my colleagues was so exhausted he took a tumble and crashed into a pile of crates. Now I have to pack up a pack of marmots running loose. So they're all exhausted. So basically, yeah, they don't know why they're doing this. They just know they have to. Interesting. Any luck, Celeste? What tales did the gleaners have to tell? Well, so this grand operation began without warning, and for every item they bring in, they're sending more inventory somewhere else. That would explain the haggard faces I've been seeing. We were right, the Forum is definitely up to something, and they're turning Labyrinthos upside down in the process. Maybe they're looking for something inside Labyrinthos. Like, could there be... I mean, I don't know, because this is like another repository, just a different kind. But anyway, this is where I'm going to end this episode. Hopefully you all enjoyed. Don't forget, you can check out all of my social media down in the description box below. And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give me a like and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Bye!